Hey y'all, it's Mary. Here comes Smudge. This is Mary Catherine Loves Cats, and I've had a few people ask me about the names of my cats. How did I come up with these names? So this is Honeybee, and she is now about 16 years old. We're not quite sure. Here comes Blue Boy. Everybody's coming over now. All right, so Honeybee got her name because she was 11 years old, and she was abandoned by her family. And she was very, very seriously sick, and where she was taken to the clinic where she was abandoned by her family, they had taken care of her when she was a kitten, and her name, she had a different name. All right, sit. Her name was Baby Girl, and they really acted like they really loved her. So then they were getting divorced, and they kicked her out of the house. And then she was in their yard for I don't know how long. And then finally they took her to their vet and said, we don't want her. And she was very, very grumpy, as you can imagine. She lived outside for a while. She was covered in fleas. They said that they really had never seen a cat so badly affected by fleas, because fleas drink your blood. So she was about on her last legs, they thought. But some of the ladies that worked there said to the veterinarian, please let us see what we can do with her. And they got her clear of fleas and got her to where she could possibly be adopted. And then nobody was adopting her because she was 11-year-old senior and she was mean. You know, she still has some of that in her, as y'all can see. But she, they asked a group in my neck of the woods that keeps pets, no-kill shelter, to take her, and they did, and they put a picture on their website, and I'm friends with them because of the working at the veterinary hospital. And they said she was, I had just turned 55, and they were showing her picture, and they said that nobody wants her. Who would adopt this senior? Nobody wants her. And I started crying. I'm like, well, I'm a senior, so I'll take her. So that's what I said to them, and they gave her to me. And I took her directly to, I had to go get her. It was a stormy night. She was at the pet store because that's where they put their adopted, to be adopted out pets. And she was quite ornery and everything. And I took her directly to my vet clinic, and they did blood work up on her and did lots of work on her. She was quite sick still. And she has a condition, and I can't remember the name of it, it's a long name, where her teeth had welded into the bones, and she had to have quite a few teeth removed. So she's a big biter, but because she had to have all those teeth removed, it really doesn't hurt when she bites. But it's taken her a long time. I've had her now for 5 years. It'll be 5 years in March, the beginning of March. And she loves me now. It took her a very long time. She always was all right with me. She was quite sick, and she had a contagious disease when she first came home to live with me. So she had to stay separated from the boys and until she was cleared from that coccidia. And that took about a month, which was good because then they got to know each other under the door. And of course she hated them, and they were very curious about her. And you can see she's a long-haired calico, and she's quite small. It's hard, might be hard to tell her, but she's very petite. She has short little legs. She is very shy, and she loves me now. It took a long time for her to accept me, for her to trust me. It took her a very long time for her to trust me. I'd say it's been 1.5 to 2 years that she's stopped biting me. And once in a while, though, she still will bite me if she gets upset with me. Because she has some mats on. She cleans herself all the time, but because of her age, I guess she can't keep up with it, so she has some mats on her that I try to get off, and she doesn't like that. So I have to be gentle with her. And so I didn't want to call her Baby Girl because I thought that would be hurtful to her, because they were so, we don't know if they abused her. The thought is that they just neglected her. And I didn't want her to hear that name all the time because she was neglected so badly with that name. So the Honeybee, I came up with Honeybee because I'm real bad at picking names. But a honeybee just is in quite a miraculous creature. Its body size and its wing size and all, it's really if we were to make a plane or something, we would never make it with the dimensions of a bee, because they say that it's like impossible that a bee flies, because its wingspan and would not hold up its body size. So it's very miraculous. So that's why she got her name. That's how she got her name, because she was surviving even through all she had been through. And to me, she's just miraculous. So this is her. And see, she's got her nails in my sweatshirt right now. And see, she's growling. She may bite me, but but I love her. And she's comfortable. She rules the boys. She's in charge of the boys. They don't, they just are very kind to her, because she will, she'll get them. So anyway, but that's Honeybee's story. Okay, y'all, so this is Blue. And Blue is a seal point ragdoll. You can see his beautiful tail. And he's quite gorgeous, and he's quite big. He's, I don't know how, maybe 13, 14 pounds. And he got his name because of his blue eyes. Because like I said, I'm not really good at picking names. But he is the most docile. He's the biggest one in the house, but he's the most docile one in the house. He only likes love when he wants it. He doesn't necessarily like, this is unusual, he's wagging his tail, which he's not real happy. Dogs wag their tail, and that means they're happy. Cats do, and they're not in the happiest of states. But he got his name because I couldn't think of anything, and his eyes are gorgeous blue, and you can get a little peek of him in there. So, and he is, I'll put him down and I'll get Smudge, because, well, he might be all right for a few minutes. I got the two boys, let's see, it'll be, at the end of May will be 6 years. So it was 5.5 years. I got them, and they were quite young. They came to the veterinary clinic that I work at. They came to us because somebody was driving and saw this cat get run over, this beautiful ragdoll cat get run over, and they stopped. The person that ran over them kept going, but one of our clients stopped and rescued the mother. And as he was picking up the mother, these 4 babies came walking out of from the side of the road. So he scooped up the babies and brought them. And there's 2 girls and 2 boys, and they're all very beautiful cats. All right, Blue. They're all very beautiful. And actually, Blue is that looks most like the seal point ragdoll that people want. The girls are quite gorgeous. They look a lot like him. They have some spotting on their face, and they're a little bit different color. And he does change colors. Sometimes he changes, and he's not as dark on his back. He's lighter colored in the summertime. It's more like this up here, but then darker like it is now. And that, they say, changes with the temperature. So, but that is how I got, well, they came to the vet, and they were at the vet, and they were there for a little while, and of course everybody fell in love with them. They were the cutest little things. I'll put some pictures at the end of them when they were babies, and that is, though, how Blue got his name. And then we have Smudge, who is the star of the show. Whoops. Smudge is, they're all ragdolls, but Smudge is a coloring that people don't necessarily gravitate toward when they think of ragdolls. So he would have been in a selling of ragdolls, he would have been most likely discarded to some effect, given away or not charged money for. He got his name, you can't really tell anymore, but when he was a kitten, I'll show you pictures at the end, he looked like he had been picked up by somebody who had white paint on their hands. That's what he looked like. His black on the back was all smudged. So that's how he got his name. And he and Blue are brothers. And, he's the star of the show. and he's beautiful. And I brought them home. It was Memorial Day weekend, and then in September, the beginning of September, it was time for them to go in and be neutered, and they were at the hospital, and I was supposed to be taking them home, and I ended up in the hospital myself having my appendix out. So they stayed at the hospital for about a week, and Buddy, I had Buddy at the time, and Buddy the dog, and some dear friends went and got Buddy for me, and they took care of him. And then when I came home, some friends at the vet clinic brought the boys home to me, and then a couple days later, Buddy was brought home to me. So, but I couldn't. I missed him very much, but I couldn't take him out for a walk because I wasn't supposed to have any pressure on my abdomen. So it took a little bit for Buddy to come home. But anyway, that is how I got my pets, and that is how they got their names. And Buddy, who has passed away, the most beautiful dog, and he was an angel for me, angelic dog. And I know everybody feels that way about their dogs, but I didn't know that when I first got him. And I didn't want a dog, and but he took up with me. He decided I was his, and that's how I got Buddy. Where I used to live, he was outside, and just one day he was out there, and the kids were throwing rocks at him, and I'm like, what are you doing? Throwing rocks at the dog? And he was an alpha male, and he was making all the other dogs, all the neighborhood dogs, lay on their backs and put their legs up in the air, which is what alpha dogs do. And they thought he was being mean, but that's just their nature. And the other dogs liked him just fine. So he got along with everybody, and he protected everybody. He protected all those kids that used to throw rocks at him. But when I said, why are you doing that? And don't do that, he went up on my porch, and then he never left me. So that is the story of my pets, y'all. So thanks for stopping by, and y'all count your blessings. And mostly you'll see Smudge in future videos. The other ones don't really like to get in them very often. Every now and again, Blue might walk past, but Honeybee, no, you can see she wasn't too keen on being in the picture. So anyway, but thanks for stopping by, y'all, and count your blessings. Bye-bye.